बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम न्यूज़ टुडे विद तंजीला मज़हर। प्रोग्राम में आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं जी। आज हम आपके लिए खुसूसी प्रोग्राम लेके आए हैं। पाकिस्तान के मुख्तलिफ ममालिक के साथ ताल्लुकात की अपनी एक तारीख़ है। पाकिस्तान ने अभी हाल ही में इंगेज अफ्रीका पॉलिसी का इफ्तिताह किया था। अफ्रीका के ममालिक के साथ पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात बड़े देरीना हैं, बड़े दोस्ताना हैं, लेकिन जो पोटेंशल है इन ममालिक का पाकिस्तान के साथ, चाहे वो तजारत के हवाले से हो, पीपल टू पीपल कॉन्टेक्ट का हो, शायद वो उतना हमने नहीं अचीव किया जितना हमें करना चाहिए था। एक ऐसा ही मुल्क है अफ्रीका का इथियोपिया, जिसने कुछ ही सालों में जिस तरह से तरक्की की है वो सारी दुनिया के लिए एक मिसाल है। पाकिस्तान इथियोपिया से बहुत कुछ सीख सकता है। जो उनका ग्रोथ रेट है वो बहुत अमेजिंग है। कुछ ऐसे सेक्टर्स हैं जिसमें उन्होंने बहुत ही खुसूसी तौर पर तरक्की दिखाई है और दुनिया को हैरान किया है। अगर हम आज़ादी इज़हार राय की बात करें तो इथियोपिया ने सारी दुनिया को उसमें हैरान कर दिया। इसी तरीके से अगर चाइल्ड मोर्टेलिटी रेट की बात करें तो 2/3 की कमी हुई, जो कि शायद इतने कम वक्त में कभी कहीं नहीं होती जो वहाँ पर हुई है। इसी तरीके से जो इकॉनमी है, जिस तरीके से उनकी ग्रो कर रही है, ना सिर्फ अफ्रीका में बल्कि पूरी दुनिया में। इथियोपिया एक डाइवर्स कंट्री है। वहाँ पे 80 से ज़ायद एथनिसिटीज़ हैं और मुख्तलिफ़ मज़ाहिब के लोग हैं। जिस तरह से इंटरफेथ हारमोनी को उन्होंने अचीव किया, एक वहाँ पर नौजवान प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने आके इथियोपिया की किस्मत को, उनकी इकॉनमी को, उनकी फ़ॉरेन पॉलिसी को बदल दिया। पाकिस्तान ने 1973 में इथियोपिया में अपनी एम्बेसी का आगाज़ किया था और कई दिहाइयों के बाद इस्लामाबाद में और पाकिस्तान में इथियोपियन एम्बेसी का इफ्तिताह हुआ है। आज हम मौजूद हैं जो इथियोपिया के एम्बेसडर हैं पाकिस्तान में, हिज़ एक्सीलेंसी जमाल बकर अब्दुल्ला, जो कि एम्बेसडर हैं एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी एंड प्लेनिपोटेंशियरी ऑफ द फेडरल डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ इथियोपिया। उनकी रेजिडेंस के ऊपर वी विल टॉक अबाउट इथियोपिया पाकिस्तान बायलैटरल ट्रेड रिलेशनशिप एंड पोटेंशियल हिज एक्सीलेंसी सीज not only in business ties but people to people contact, and we share a lot of common history, religious history. We share a lot of common values, and we will also talk about famous Ethiopian coffee and his stay in Pakistan, and he has achieved a lot of important milestones in shortest span of time. He has been awarded with the best ambassador in Islamabad and in Pakistan award from Islamabad Chamber of Commerce and Industries. हम कुछ उस हवाले से भी बात करेंगे. He has been traveling especially in Punjab, meeting with the business leaders, and also inaugurated direct flights from Karachi to Ethiopia, and he has also signed bilateral trade agreements which was not in place previously. Thank you so much, His Excellency, for your time, and I really welcome you to Pakistan. So our embassy was established in Ethiopia in 1973, and why it took so long for Ethiopia to come here?
Yeah, Tanzeela, thank you for coming down, and it is very historic day today. We're almost since I came to this beautiful country and people, so almost 1 year now, and this 1 year it has taught me who are Pakistani, what's Pakistan offer, and I came to see a lot of true picture, true facts about Pakistan. Why, let me come back to you, why it took to you too long. It's like, after we said we celebrate this year 76 independence, and we come on the golden jubilee on the 75 of Pakistan's Independence Day celebration, and I said we are always in honeymoon. Every foreign countries and foreign policy, it drives by the domestic politics plus again resources expenditure for containing operating foreign embassies in a foreign country is a lot of resource.
Yes.
So especially Ethiopia since 2018, our visionary Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has came, and we have conducted a deep foreign policy reshuffle in that assessment. One of that country came out of that is strongly is Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Pakistan. So you can see the shift in the side the country, especially for our Prime Minister. This country is very top priorities, and partnership with Pakistan, due to its geography, due to its potential to grow, due to its population, due to its technology, many things to mention. So we are just working. That is why here you cannot find me. You find me everywhere. I want to compensate all those times.
Because you have been very active. Let me, share my admiration and admiration of people of Pakistan. And I know you have been receiving a lot of awards for your services. And shortest span of time, you have done some wonderful, wonderful things with Pakistani business community. If I ask you, what is the potential of bilateral trade? Where it is right now, and where do you want to take it?
Thank you, Tanzeela. This is very good question. For any country, economic diplomacy is a top priority for any foreign engagement. For my country, the level of Pakistani's development in terms of economy, technology, business, and manufacturing industries, when I look into, it is a lot of things that we can learn from Pakistan, and we can be a good, connection between this one. For your surprise, we didn't have, bilateral agreement previously. I encouraged the two parties in this regard. We have signed on the 14th of February this year, the bilateral trade agreement between Pakistan and Ethiopia. Since then, the two countries now established a committees that look into, bilateral matters. So we are now coming very close to each other. Look, Pakistan have got a very competitive prices in many, products. Let's take pharmaceutical product. Pakistan, I've seen last time also I opened one. I opened two, pharmaceutical expo by chance. One in Karachi, one in Islamabad, and I was seeing the technologies that Pakistan had, and it is very up to age, very high technology. And second, also you can see also Pakistan is produce a lot of surgical equipment, which is my country needs a lot of that part.
So pharmaceuticals and
surgical and
and
the textile. Last time when there is a fourth international textile expo held in Karachi, I brought close to 20 people who are very potential, who can buy textile from Pakistani, and that they have created a good partnerships. So now they have already established a good engagement. Textile is one area that I'm focusing on. The other is chemical. Pakistan is known for a lot of chemicals, for any industries, for manufacturing to flourish, chemicals is the backbone for any industry. So these are very key. And what I have did is, we established a kind of engagement with institution like Chamber of Commerce, Islamabad Chamber of Commerce Industry, which is a very good friend of Karachi Chamber of Commerce, Multan, Gujranwala, Faisalabad, Sialkot, all of them are visited.
You have been traveling across Pakistan, and particularly if I talk about Punjab,
Yes.
you have been meeting a lot of business leaders in Punjab,
Yes.
and you took a delegation to Ethiopia from Pakistan and brought a delegation from Ethiopia to Pakistan.
This is one thing, like for me, I tour all over for 1 week, start from Islamabad, all the way to Lahore, from Lahore to Multan, from Multan back to Sialkot, Sialkot to Gujranwala, then I went to Faisalabad. I travel all through the Pakistan in Punjabi, as you said, and mostly in Punjab cities. And I've met with them, and I've explained the potential of my country and the potential of two, traffic. So mutual interest is very important. So I've shown them Ethiopia can offer them a lot of business opportunity that I've mentioned in, and they can also bring from Ethiopia.
You have been mentioning about people-to-people contact. I think we share a lot of cultural history and religious history and values. How are you thinking to bring that into a policy mechanism?
Look, this is very important. Connection people to people. The lasting and sustainable diplomatic engagement lies on people-to-people engagement. This one is business, the one we're talking about. We created that platform. The second is now the value. the religion, the belief the people share. As you know, Ethiopia is a land of Bilal Habashi and King Najashi. So, last week, the Muslim World League went to Ethiopia and met with our, Prime Minister, President, and our Foreign Minister. And they discussed it, and they want to build a big, cultural center for, King Najashis in that area. It is because of a global outreach. So the first hijrah in Islamic country calendar is toward Ethiopia. The first hijrah. So that means Ethiopia is a cradle, that welcome, and so that the Muslim exercise their freedom, liberty to, exercise their religion.
So luckily I have visited that cultural center and, visited those museums back in 2019. I was in Ethiopia. So let me take a short break, and His Excellency Ambassador of Ethiopia is with us, and we will talk about some extraordinary achievements of Ethiopia, not only in African region but in the world. They have outperformed in so many fields. We will talk about that and what Pakistan can learn from Ethiopia. Stay tuned. Welcome back to News Today, and we are talking to Jamal Beker Abdullah. He's ambassador, extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. And His Excellency, I was talking about Ethiopian success story. Whether it is freedom of press, whether it is interfaith harmony, and especially, child mortality rate reduced, I think, two-third reduction, and that is extraordinary. How do you explain that success story? Because I know there has been a lot of difficulties, and then a young leader took over your country. How things changed?
Thank you. This is, the pillar for our country, is the secret of our country's success. I'll tell you today. One is, always governance is what matters for any country, especially governance led by conviction, plus again commitment and vision. So you have a clear vision where you're heading, where you are, where you're heading, what you need and what you had. So this thing is very critical. When Dr. Abiy Ahmed, His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, took power in 2018, he has a clear vision where he wants to take Ethiopia. So that issues, the number one issue is democracy. What we lack in our country previously, democracy is very vital, especially for diversity. Diverse community like Ethiopia, democracy is an issue of days and life. And then he opened up.
And I think you have dozens of ethnicities living in same area.
80, more than 80 nationality exist in Ethiopia. Language, I'm talking, everybody has his own language. Holding that one together, it means it needs democracy. One is self-governance. So for self-governance to we have similarities with Pakistan. We are a federal state, the same like Pakistan. So for that, for us, the issue of freedom of expression is very vital. When he came on power, a lot of YouTubers have been in jail, and he released them, almost 270.
Yes.
That the medias and all outlet has been closed. He freed all of them, and because freedom is very vital for a country diverse like us, who has an ambition also, we need to discuss so that stakeholders should also decide on the fate of their countries. Their opinion has to be listened, and that is one thing. So he devolved the power to the governments.
We know that there were hurdles, there were political instability in Ethiopia, there were issues in religious harmony and interfaith harmony. So how did it help the political stability and peace within the country to build all this?
Look, the cultural, that cements the nation, the values, supernatural, we can do superstructural, which is values belong to all those things. You know, the cultural plus again religious harmony. For us in Ethiopia, when Muslim built a mosque, Christian support to build, bringing all stuffs. When the Christian builds also church, Muslim support to build. This is something unique in my country. As we know from early, expansion of, Islam and, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, go to Ethiopia, where there is a just king and where you can freedom exercise your religion. Since then, we stand for justice, actually, liberty. Ethiopia never been colonized, for your for information.
Yes.
And we have been, working so that we as a civilization, we know, the Islamic civilization we share, with other civilization, Christian civilization, whatsoever, we name them. So Ethiopia is an harmony, everyone living in it. So that cultural bending helps the country, whatever political challenge exists, the two, the Christian go, even the two, together. Like, never, here mosque, the other church. Everybody is, going to his, there. So then never under any political challenge. That superstructural values never been touched, and that it is one of the bonds that exists. So
I think that is something played a role of an anchor during all this time. So I wanted to ask what Pakistan can learn, because Pakistan is also a very diverse country.
Yes.
And we are a growing economy. We have a lot of potential regardless of the political challenges we face. How do you look Pakistan and Ethiopia facing same challenges and sharing some potential and some values?
I think Pakistan has got a potential to grow, because I've seen throughout the country, I've come to know agricultural technology, especially number one. I can say I was, trying to expand those agricultural technology Pakistan have to my country. And there is also committed, what is very important is now there is a deep values in the elites of this country to move this country forward. Pakistan have now, I think, determined to take this country to the high level. Because of whatever, challenge gives you lesson. And this will be a springboard for the Pakistanis to take their country forward. They're doing, I'm very amazed, and the caretaker government establishment, I said, oh, this is very new model, and I really surprised, and a very, good one.
It's a unique model, actually.
Unique model. And I said, okay, everybody, when you have power, sit down, let us compete as a citizen, equal citizen. And then fair and free elections has been done, and then the power will come out. I said, this is a good, model. I can see that. This is one way. So I think there is, common
potential
understanding between the elites and politicians, all those of this country. Pakistan, everybody is watching. So they will never, this country will take this regime forward.
So what actually, in your opinion, what is the strongest point you noticed during your interactions with our political leadership, with our business leaders, with our community, common people? What is that one strongest point you have noticed?
Let me just tell you one secret I came, I was reading this morning. It is by a world statistic that has been issued. Which citizen will fight for their country? Number one, they put Pakistan. Who fight for their country? 86%. I was watching. Oh, this is really what I said. You can look into my interview. I came to know Pakistan is very patriotic people, very nationalist who love their country,
yes,
who can sacrifice. That is where the sacred comes. So I said this is true. And when I read today that statistic, oh, I'm right then.
So you got it right.
Yes.
So you mentioned some numbers of trade potential. You are taking that potential to another level. But if I could ask you, What are the imports you think that Pakistan can do with Ethiopia? You produce seeds,
Yes.
and you are known for coffee beans.
Yes, very true. I hope
And
you have drank that coffee.
yes,
when
we
you
will
were
talk
there.
about coffee in later
Okay.
segment of the program. But what are the import potential for Pakistan?
Look, Tanzeela, where one issue is very important. Ethiopia's economy, the backbone is agriculture, as I said, and the economy. So when I look into the imports of Pakistan and necessity goods of those are, like agricultural products. We can look into chickpeas, beans, and kidneys, and oil seed, and again chai. Tea also we produce actually. Ethiopia produce a strong, good taste of that, and coffee as you mentioned.
I have to talk about coffee, which is very famous, and
You make me happy when you talk coffee.
and that is part of your, I think, belief system now.
Yes, yes, very true. Very true.
Let's take another short break, and we'll be back, and we'll be talking to Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Jamal Beker Abdullah is with us. Stay tuned. वेलकम बैक टू न्यूज़ टुडे जी। और हम बात कर रहे हैं जमाल बकर अब्दुल्ला से, जो कि एम्बेसडर हैं एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी एंड प्लेनिपोटेंशरी ऑफ द फेडरल डेमोक्रेटिक रिपब्लिक ऑफ इथियोपिया। पाकिस्तान में इस एम्बेसी को 1 साल हुआ है, और हमने जो पोटेंशियल है पाकिस्तान और इथियोपिया का उसकी काफ़ी बात कर ली है। दिस वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग अबाउट इथियोपिया, Ethiopian coffee actually. So they believe that coffee beans were originated in Ethiopia. So let's talk about this coffee. You have mentioned chai. You know, chai is very famous in Pakistan, but coffee is also very very famous in Pakistan. You must have visited good coffee shops in Islamabad. How do you see your coffee is different from this coffee, and what is special about Ethiopian coffee?
Tanzeela, I have to be frank with you. The first time I came, it is almost in August I came, and what I do, we Ethiopian love, it's like our religion. Coffee, it's like our identity. I said in the morning I wake up from my hotel and they give me coffee. No, I'm not.
What is this?
You know what is this? I asked them. No, this is coffee. Oh no. Okay, take a look me where the coffee exists. I went out for your surprise. I came, F6 somewhere. I know that shop. I went there,
Okay.
and they gave me coffee. And I said, do you have Ethiopian coffee? Yes, we have. But can you give me Ethiopian coffee? Then I said, no, we cannot give you alone, and we need to blend with other coffees.
Okay.
Okay?
So
And
that is
then
the difference.
The difference. So you cannot find the taste of Ethiopian coffee, I'm telling you, Tanzeela, you have. So, and
So I heard you have been promoting Ethiopian coffee a lot at your embassy and your office.
yes, what I do is now, I need to give a new, test for Pakistan. I'm quite sure Pakistan will enjoy coffee, because coffee is more stimulant than chai. Because I drink chai here, but coffee, if you drink, you wake up and that is can go definitely with the behavior of Pakistani. The coffee, is more strong and it gives you more, stimulant and like that. So what we do is 2 things. One, at our embassy, I organize regularly, coffee tea, coffee ceremony here. I invite, people who are, in the cities, some of the ambassadors here. We organize for them a coffee ceremony. When especially the media, the media is one of my good friends. I try to make for them anything I can do in this embassy. So we'll have a good coffee ceremony, and we'll try to show Ethiopia's, like it is our identity coffee. We wake up in the morning, the first thing we think of the Ethiopia is no food, it's coffee.
Okay.
We think about, coffee that, after, it's like we meet to coffee with the greenery things around. That is like when you wake up, the hope for the day, the best, hopes.
Yeah, I know you have been received warmly in Pakistan, and your embassy, has been received very, very warmly. So your coffee has been receiving the same, warmth.
Tanzeela, right. One thing, coffee is, what I receive, I came to know the true Pakistanis feeling. What aligns us is where I came to know, the values that attach us. Everywhere I go, I get a warm hospitality, and I say, "Garam Joshua Maraba." Most, came. They welcome me with a very open mind and heart everywhere. So that is a deep value.
Were you really in contact with Pakistan in any way before you came here?
That's I came to see one friend I have. There is a Pakistan. Pakistans are adventurous people. I know that, the fact. And before I came here, I was director in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it became under me. So this Middle East and Asia at that time, and one of the investors who was invested in textile in Ethiopia, and he's a good friend of mine at there. And before I came here, the visa restriction was a bit high on there.
Okay.
So I used to help them. For anyone who came to them, I have to write a letter to them. That's my first experience, and we became a friend. He used to tell me, I told him, I see news on the, main TV and something. I said him.
Western media.
Yes, I said, that something, that's your family okay everywhere? I said, Jamal, he said, he tell me one good secret. I'm telling you, he's from Punjabi. I didn't know that he's from Punjab at that time. I came to know. And they said, Jamal, my country is poised. But the news is there. I heard that, and nothing is there. Our people are very free and no problem. And that is my first instance, what I read, and they come back to see the media, and the fact on the ground is very different.
Before we conclude this discussion, I would really like to ask you how important is people-to-people contact, as we have been talking about, cultural values we share, and there are a lot of, common strengths one could see in Ethiopia and in Pakistan. So what are you doing for people-to-people contact?
That's very critical. Now the movies, we need to, as I said, for sustainable development, sustainable diplomatic engagement between countries should be supplemented by people-to-people interactions. That's why I brought Ethiopian embassy, airlines to this country. And now that has opened, a lot of transaction is going on. Some Ethiopian are coming, I've seen, for even to exchange, to explore Pakistan. So Pakistan now, rather than going to Europe and others, I encourage them to visit Africa and the rest, because Ethiopia...
So African market is bigger?
Bigger now, because it is different taste now. Naturalness. We have a big safaris in my country. We have zoos, many historic places like Al-Najashi, mosques and many other in that.
So
Harar.
tourism.
We have actually two, three culturally recorded, World Heritage in UNESCO. One is King Najashi. Second is Harar Jogol, where the hyena eats meat and people gives by their mouths to the hyena. They feed the meat, hyena and frey. You see, people friendly there. So they, their association, that is Harar Jogol. We have the the third one is Sofumar, Jogol, where you can see a lot of, Islamic cultural values. The people, in the evening they celebrate. So there is a lot of taste. We have historic one, archaeological one. It's the land of origin. When they go back to Ethiopia, they will become also 7 years younger than their age, as you know, Tanzeela. Because Ethiopia's calendar, now we're going to celebrate in this next month, 11th of September, Ethiopia's New Year. So that New Year, we're going to, celebrate 2016. So you can see where, back when you go to Ethiopia 7 years back, younger than your age.
So, when is your Prime Minister visiting Pakistan? He's meeting Chinese president, and such a young, vibrant leader who has shown a lot of progress. I think one could imagine this progress in decades of time, but he has and his team has done this in years. of time. When is he visiting Pakistan?
You know, the first assignment he given me when I come to this country, Jamal, work on to maintain the partnership, strategic partnership with Pakistan. This is a clear message from His Excellency, and the love he has for Pakistan is immense. So, previously we had a plan to visit, so now the new government, caretaker government is in place, so now we're working how to bring him on board. But I'm confidently saying to you, you know, Pakistan is a top priority for Ethiopia, and my Prime Minister love to come this country and meet with the officials. We are working with, you know, all other necessary institutions very closely, and now we are going to bring, you know, the two countries at political level. You know, the previous, you know, Prime Minister and my Prime Minister, they met on the sideline of Paris Agreement, and mostly what makes me happy, I'm telling you, Tanzeela, all the Ethiopian in Pakistan, when they go to some conference, they look for each other, they, you know, get together photos and they send me. That makes me very good things, you know. This is where we are connecting the countries together. Strategically, Pakistan and Ethiopia need each other. We need to work for the collective peace. One thing I remind always, Pakistan and Ethiopia sacrifice valuable things, human life, to sustain the international peace and order. Peacekeeping, we sacrificed together, we fight together for the international peace and the others. So nothing we can give other than our precious life. That is what we share.
So, did you learn anything, any word, any term in Pakistan since you are here for last 1 year?
1 year.
And what would you say as your concluding remarks to my audience?
Always one thing, because of the, you know, the care they given to me. One word I like too much, Garam Joshu Marhaba.
Garam Joshu Marhaba.
They're so warm welcome. Wherever I go, they say to me, Jamal, this is your home. This is your institution. Most welcome. Garam Joshu Marhaba. Jashine, the other word that last time I was singing also on the Independence Day is Jashine
Jashne Azadi?
Yes, Jashne Azadi. So I think this is one assignment I had. I will learn, and whenever you come next time, I will speak with you in Urdu. That's what I rest assure you.
His Excellency, thank you so much for your time and your valuable discussion with us. नाज़रीन, आपने गुफ्तगू सुनी। जमाल बकर अब्दुल्ला एम्बेसडर हैं इथियोपिया के पाकिस्तान में, और उन्होंने इथियोपिया की कामयाबियों के कुछ राज भी बताएं जो बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट हैं। उन्होंने गवर्नेंस की बात की है, पीस की बात की है, और पाकिस्तान और इथियोपिया अपने ताल्लुकात को कैसे लेकर आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, कुछ हवाले से भी उन्होंने हमें बताया। आज के लिए इतना ही। इंशाल्लाह अगले प्रोग्राम में आपसे दोबारा मुलाकात होगी। अपना ख्याल रखिए। अल्लाह हाफिज़।